Something good going on in this Pats neighborhood.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Miss Pats Neighborhood. I am so excited about today's episode. Stan Siegwald from Dare to Care Food Bank will be here with us today, and he's going to share with us all of the fantastic resources that have been made available right here in West Louisville, and we're going to promote Hunger Action Month. Our hidden gem today will be the fabulous Miss Rayshonda Leas Lockhart, the owner of All is Fair in Love and Fashion, who happens to also be my personal stylist for this show. So don't you move. We'll be right back.
Democracy is based upon the conviction that there are extraordinary possibilities in ordinary people.
And our elections belong to the people, but they are determined by those who show up.
Voting isn't just your right, it's your power.
And inside all of us is the power to create change.
This process of election should afford a moral certainty
that any elected office will seldom fall to a person not endowed with requisite qualifications.
But that's up to those who vote. Because people shouldn't be afraid of their government.
Governments should be afraid of the people's power.
Beginning October 13 in Kentucky,
you'll have a chance to use your power to be a part of history.
Don't wait till November 3rd.
Request your ballot and vote by mail or vote in person, but vote early. This is your opportunity to make a change. Words matter, protests matter, but few things are louder than your vote. Let's take the protest to the polls.
Welcome back. And some shows are just more exciting for me personally than others. I have known Stan Siegwald for years. Yeah. He was a part of me when I first came into the nonprofit world. Hi, Stan. How are you?
Hi, great.
Good.
Great.
Good to
Thank
see you.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for agreeing to come. Thank you so much. I'm very familiar with Dare to Care and all that they do, but I wanted to make sure that the viewers, everybody knew what resources actually were here in West Louisville and just what a great partner Dare to Care is.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So share with us some of the actual programming that takes place right here in West Louisville.
Well, Dare to Care, we've been around for 50 years. And last year we moved enough food for about 24 million meals, and that's just in the greater Louisville area. And as you know, Pat, we only do that through partnerships. Our work, and that's one of the great things about my job and about working at Dare to Care, is we actually get that food onto the tables of families by partnering with great folks like you and all the great faith communities and nonprofits throughout the area. We're really excited about the work that we've got going on in West Louisville. We can talk a little bit about that later. Yes. But some of our great partners here, in addition to you guys, would be Baptist Fellowship Center, Shiloh, the Sister Visitor Center. Going into Portland, there's Neighborhood House, there's St. George Episcopal Center, St. Augustine, Redeemer Lutheran going down on Broadway. I mean, the list can kind of just really go on and on. And we are so honored to have these great partnerships in our community.
So one of the things that we participate, there are so many different programs ran out of Dare to Care. We participate in the Senior Commodities Program. Yes. We've also been participating in the COVID boxes
Yep.
program. But one of the things that I, as I ride through our community and I saw, and I remember when it was an inception, and that is the community kitchen.
Yeah.
Talk about that and let everybody know exactly what's taking place.
You saw that smile.
Yes.
Go on. Well, I'll go back to the beginning of the kitchen.
Okay.
And I'll go way back. In the early 90s, Dare to Care started a program called Kids Cafe. In fact, I ran a small nonprofit, St. Anthony Outreach Center, that was a Kids Cafe. And what that program was, we were partnering with after-school programs, places where kids would congregate, and they were hungry. So Dare to Care would provide food once a week that the site would then use their kitchen and their volunteers and staff to prepare a meal so those kids wouldn't be hungry. I know when I was at St. Anthony's, those kids, if you're hungry, you can't study, you can't listen to direction, you can't do anything, and kids are the very same. And the introduction of that meal just blew the lid off what we were able to do for those kids. So when we got to about 2012, we loved the Kids Cafe program, and at Dare to Care we wanted to do more programs like that went beyond just, I don't want to say just, but went beyond handing food to someone, a program that could really help people elevate themselves and have a chance at more success in life. And we saw the Kids Cafe program as that was a program that was really moving the needle in that direction. But we couldn't open any more sites because the programs needed a commercial kitchen, which are very expensive to build. So long story short, we had the brilliant idea, or actually stole it from another city, to we'll build the kitchen and start delivering the meals. And that was in 2013. We had a small kitchen space we leased in Butchertown because we didn't know if the program would work. After 1 year, we had gone from 12 sites serving about 1,200 meals a week to 33 sites serving about 2,000 meals a day. And so it was just an incredible program. So we go to today in 2020, and actually it was last year in 2019, we wanted to grow that program. We wanted to do more things out of our kitchen. Our space was too small. We needed a bigger space for our kitchen, and we wanted to be in West Louisville. And we had a great partnership with Louisville Forward to find this incredible, for us, vacant 24,000 square foot space at 28th and Virginia, where we were able to triple the size of our kitchen. So now we can serve more kids cafes, more meals. We can serve, and we can talk more about the programs later, but plated meals and chopped up produce. We can partner now with Catholic Charities Common Table program to have job training. They've got a big classroom in their own training kitchen that they operate out of. And what I personally really like is about 15 to 20 of us moved our offices into the space. So we moved from our warehouse space out on Fern Valley Road to now we're in this great space right in the heart of Louisville, right in the heart of the community that we want to serve and work with and partner. So
yes.
We're really excited about our new kitchen.
Well, I looked in our roll pass, I was like, they did it.
Yes, we did. We did.
They did it.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. So let me ask the question. So is there any partnership right now? Because I know that there's a community garden.
That garden. That's the best community. Well, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. That's one of the best community gardens I've seen in our community. That's right across 28th Street. So what we've done so far is we've got some plots over there. We have staff that have personal plots, and our dietitian who runs Cooking Matters and nutrition and education programs. She has a plot, and our chef has her own plot where she's growing some herbs and some other items to use in our kitchen.
Yeah, I just had Letitia Marshall on from last week from Barefoot and Grow. And so I think I'm going to try it. Try it. At least get me a small plot and just at least try. I want to see if I could grow tomatoes. I know the season's over now, but next spring I want to see if I can grow tomatoes.
So what we hope to do as we get more settled in our space too is to provide more compost materials for that garden. They have a big compost bin, so eventually we'd like to help that site, grow that piece, and really
it only
feed
makes
that
sense.
Community garden more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's wonderful. So I know here, like I had mentioned before, at St. Stephen, we do the senior commodities program, where the first Thursday of every month we announce that we're going to be giving out food and allow participants to come and take advantage of that. But since COVID started, I reached out to you, and you was like, well, yeah, we're doing these COVID boxes. So we've been doing those for our seniors here in the local community every Monday. And we were, doing some supplements, but we've since stopped it. But we just wanted to make sure. And then we did some fresh produce. We did have some loose produce last week, actually, that they delivered, and we gave that out. But I wanted to, there are so many other sites that do the same thing, and some that are doing even more, just to ensure that the residents in our community are eating, which is very important. And we took hold to the seniors because it was so much unknown, it was best for them to stay in.
Right.
So we literally have been delivering our boxes to the seniors on Monday, just because it's best that y'all just stay in. Look, we risking it being out, but it's best that y'all stay in, being in that vulnerable population. But one of the things, and I talked to you earlier about this, is because when I got involved with Dare to Care, I wanted to know how Dare to Care started.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a beautiful story. It was an unfortunate circumstance that happened, but what was birthed out of it just is beautiful. So can you share the story of how Dare to Care came to be?
And I'm like you. When I first heard the story, it's real incredibly motivating, and it really makes you feel a sense of responsibility to carry on what a generation before us did. On Thanksgiving Eve in 1969, a 9-year-old boy named Bobby Ellis died of hunger, and he died of hunger between what is now Hodge Street and 22nd Street on Eddy Avenue. He went to Bick Elementary. He was a member of our community. He had 5 sisters that were very close to having the same fate as Bobby. And what happened next, I think, is it's almost a shame on us if we don't carry this legacy on. The people of that generation saw that headline on Thanksgiving Day that a 9-year-old boy died of hunger, and how easy it would have been for them to have just said, oh, that's awful. Isn't that awful, Miss Pat? When are we going to Auntie's for dinner, right, for Thanksgiving? But they didn't. They carried that story forward. They actually marched in the streets, and it was a collection of interfaith leaders, leaders of both political parties, if you can believe that, actually came together, and their rallying cry was Dare to Care. And after a few weeks of that, they finally began to go out and collect food. There was a Catholic pastor, Father Jack Jones, it was St. John's Catholic Church. It's now St. John's Day Center on East Ali. He said, here's my basement, bring the food here. And he had a pickup truck, and the community gathered that food and began to take food to other nonprofits where families could be fed. But they said, no more. That is unacceptable in our community. And they not only said it, they actually did something. They did hard work. And when you think of that story and just think, my gosh, if they did that then, and all that we know now, that we have a responsibility to carry that legacy, to not let Bobby have died in vain, not to have allowed his family to have suffered what they suffered in vain. Every year we honor Bobby's memory on the Sunday before Thanksgiving. We gather at Bick, where he went to school. Members of his family will join us, and it's just a free public event. This is not a fundraiser. We just gather. We say a few words and then walk a few blocks in silence to the site near where his home was, and remember, remind ourselves of the obligation we have to carry on that legacy.
And it's a great legacy. And it's important to me because it just makes you think. Sometimes people name their organizations for whatever reason, but this one actually has a meaning. I dare you to care. I dare you to care. Okay, I just love this story. It made me feel a sense of responsibility, like you said. We've got to do something and make sure that the least of people in our communities are at least having the basic access to food.
I mean, who are we? Who are we if we can't do that? And I think I saw data for the first time this morning about the number of people that are food insecure in Greater Louisville. Now, when we had the big economic crisis in 2009, that number went all the way up to 190,000 people. 190,000 people. Over 10, 12 years, it had finally come down to about 160,000 people. Still unacceptable. But I saw projections this morning because of the pandemic, because of the economic consequences and the suffering that we're having now. It's projected that we'll have 220,000 by the end of this year. Now, who are we as a community if we can't make sure that everyone just has the food they need to be healthy?
Right.
And we're so lucky in our community to have such great support, to have such great partners. And something I don't want to forget to mention about our partners is when COVID hit. You mentioned those COVID boxes. We made those because we thought that in our community, like in most of the communities around the country, nonprofits were going to start closing. And what were we going to do? We had to have boxes ready to just be able to get out into the community. But in Louisville, that didn't happen. In San Antonio, you saw on the national news, people having to wait in cars for hours just to get a box of food. We didn't have that here. We didn't need that here because of the over 200 partners we have. I think 5% had to close. And many of those reopened as soon as they could. I mean, and that speaks to the heart of this community. We may have our challenges and our issues.
And everybody does.
But there's a heart here. What you guys did. You found a way. There were seniors that couldn't get out for food. You found a way to serve them. And I just think that really says a lot about you guys. It says a lot about our community.
It does. And I think that it's important that we celebrate that because, in the midst of everything else that's going on, we still, and I think that's what gives me hope in us. Because I know, way back in the 60s and 70s, someone put out a song and said, "Look what we can do, Louisville. Look what we can do if we just come together. Look at the impact we can make." And that's what makes me love West Louisville. And I, regardless of what people say and what the media broadcasts, I know for a fact there is always something good going on in the hood. Always. So the last thing, Hunger Action Month is coming up.
Yes, it is. We're in it.
We're in it.
Yeah, we're in it right now. So Hunger Action Month is a national event, and I didn't wear my orange today, but orange is supposed to be the color of hunger. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming and joining with me. And I pray that we're going to continue. I know we are going to continue to doing the work that needs to be done.
Because of folks like you. And again, thank you for having us. Like you. Well, thank you.
Because how long have you been at Dairy Care? Because it's been a long time.
I started there, but I was just going to work there a couple years. That was 15 years ago.
Yeah. So it's wonderful, and hopefully we can expand and do more in our community. But thank you so much for everything that Dare to Care has done, is doing, and will continue to do.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you all, we will be right back with Rayshonda Lias Lockhart of All Is Fair in Love and Fashion.
Simmons College of Kentucky presents the Empower West Louisville 2020 Citywide Virtual Book Club. Join us Tuesday, October 13th at 6:30 p.m. as we welcome best-selling author and Gromeyer Award winner, Dr. Robert P. Jones, and an honest and open discussion about his book, White, Too Long: The Legacy of White Supremacy in American Christianity. We're streaming live on the Facebook and YouTube page of Simmons College of Kentucky, Tuesday, October 13th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Welcome back, and as you can see, my wardrobe has changed. Compliments of my lovely stylist, Rayshonda.
Hi, you look amazing.
Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to work with you.
Yes.
But I would just tell you, I think sitting back, letting you do all the work is absolutely the best.
I didn't know you was gonna walk in the room looking like that, though. That's just, look, fabulous.
Yes, I think you did a wonderful job.
I'm proud of myself.
So let me just tell y'all, if you're looking for a stylist, look no further. I'm so glad that you could be with me today.
I'm glad to be here.
And I want everyone to know all about All Is Fair in Love and Fashion.
Yes, listen, it has been a journey, okay? It has been a journey.
Yeah, most things that are really worth going towards are.
Yes. So I started All Is Fair in Love and Fashion as a simple Facebook page. I was just putting together style ideals for women. I wanted them to reuse the items they already had in their closet. So it wasn't really about selling anything. I was just wanting them to put plaids and stripes together, polka dots and verticals, anything that they thought that they couldn't mesh well together, give them ideas to do so. And about 3 months in, my page went viral. I don't know what I posted. I don't know what happened. I do remember sitting in the movie theater. Remember when we used to go to movies?
Yes, I remember.
And my phone just went off, and I went from 2,000 followers to 20,000. Now we're at 500,000. Over this 7-year course, I opened an online boutique, All Is Fair in Love and Fashion. Everybody always asks me, where did the name come from? I said it was downloaded from heaven to me. I have no idea where it wasn't something that I thought about. It just came. And I opened the boutique March of 2013. And it has been a whirlwind ride. I have dressed celebrities. I have dressed out veteran women. it's just, and I also give back during this. This is all I wanted to do in the beginning. I wanted to start a nonprofit for teen moms, and I wasn't able to do that. I ended up being in fashion, but every year I get to do my scholarship brunch to give back to those that attend our TAP schools here. So I am still doing what I wanted to do, just in a different way. So it's been absolutely amazing.
Well, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
I think that I like when you start talking about you wanted women to not be afraid to put plaids with stripes. And I think that's one of the things, especially full figure women. It's
Really?
like, I would have never picked this dress for myself.
Why not?
There are several reasons, but now that I have it on, daggone it, I feel like I need to go somewhere. I mean,
You know, I wore my wedding dress to Target. We
heard about that.
I said I spent too much money to wear it one time. So for me, it's just about dressing up, especially now that we are in quarantine. We were in for months. So I was like, let me put on something and get dressed up and go, I'll make up a place and just get out and walk around. I think I bought one item and walked out. It was just about getting out.
Yeah.
So, and it's always, I don't want us to always be in black as plus size women. Yes, black is slimming, but it's also, it will get mundane and boring. So just switch it up, which is why I have on patterns today. But I love color.
Yes, I like that. I want that. So it's, a lot of times I watch what you wear and then I'm like, oh, I think I could wear that. But I think when you work directly with a stylist, they challenge you to do things that you typically wouldn't do.
Now that is true.
And that helps you discover things that you typically would never, because I'm like, I like this.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And so, okay, so we have a new spot. Well, you've done a couple of pop-ups out at Oxmoor.
Yes.
And those were really successful.
Yes, they were amazing.
But I'm really waiting on the space.
So, and I'm super excited. Guess what? The space is right next to the bridal shop.
Yay!
So we will have Kentucky's first black-owned bridal shop. And my All Is Fair in Love and Fashion is right next to it, downtown 558 South 4th Street. And we are working on, since the pop-up, going into setting up and getting ready. I have been overwhelmed with online orders. I have been packing and shipping up until midnight sometimes.
Yeah, I saw your post.
But it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I said, help me. So it's about me growing and expanding. So now I have to trust hiring someone and taking some of that load off of me so that I can be better equipped to go out and style and not have to be at the boutique all the time.
All the time, yeah. So what's coming up other than, I know we're going to have a grand opening when we get ready to go into the new facility.
We
what
are
else?
trying to work this. I miss having fashion shows. It's just not going to be the same. So unless everybody is masked the whole time, because there's no real reason to have a mask on and then get makeup done, put a mask back on.
Right.
Just keep your mask on the whole time and switch out, but it'll be very limited. I'm working on that for October, and I will put a date out there, but I want to make sure that it's safe for everyone to do so. I missed my 4th Street Live, the outdoor show, but they took down the main stage and it would have just not been the same. So COVID has really changed a lot. Yes. I had to pivot my business back in April to all PPE, which kept us going. So it was a great thing to do. As soon as Governor Beshear in March announced that he was shutting down places, I went to Hobby Lobby. I got all the rhinestones and glitter I could find. I said, we're going to need masks. And LaShawn was like, nobody's going to wear a mask. Ha ha. I was ahead of the curve.
Smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what smart business women do.
Yes.
They adjust.
That is true. Because I was in bed 8 days, Miss Pat.
For what?
Devastated.
Oh no.
At the beginning of this, I said, go ahead, Lord, come get me. You can come on right now because I'm not going to be able to make it. And, my friends would call me like, Ray, it's going to be okay. I just couldn't see how it's going to be okay. And on that 8th day, I got out the bed, I got in the shower, and God was like, just do what you've always done. You started from nothing. So this is not new. Whatever happens, you're just going to have to start over like you always have. So
starting over is nothing new for you.
No, nothing new.
Yeah.
I have hit the reset button, which I tell people all the time, allow yourself to start over. This is my 4th start over. So as far as coming to Louisville homeless and starting this business, that was my 4th time starting over in life. and it worked out just fine. You're gonna have sometimes life is gonna hit you hard, and you have to be able to just say, okay, let's reset and reassess.
What a great testimony.
Oh, thank you.
And just know that that's going to inspire people, because some people just needed to hear that it's okay to start over.
Yeah.
I can start over and I can be successful, and I may have to start over again, but I can still be successful again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The timeline that we have is not real, that we create for ourselves. Like in our 20s, I thought by 25 I had to have all this together and all that together. And I remember moving from Fort Hood, Texas, back home with my mom after my divorce, and I'm starting over again. And 8 months into that, Hurricane Katrina came through. And I ended up in Kentucky. Now, when my friend said, you should move to Kentucky, I was like, Kentucky? People don't wear shoes in Kentucky. She was like...
But you know, and I think that is because, I come from a military background, and I promise you, all my military friends, they would always say that, y'all wear shoes? What you mean, do we wear shoes?
And she was like, girl, you're in Mississippi. So I was like, that's true. So that was me starting over again. So I started over only 8 months after I started over. So it's always going to be something. You just have to keep going, especially to my business owners and those that are wanting to be an entrepreneur. This life is not for the faint at heart.
Yeah.
So,
and I tell people, I think entrepreneurs work harder.
Yeah.
Than if you were working for somebody else, but it's a mental thing.
It is.
You see this is yours, so it makes sense to even work harder.
Yes,
because it belongs to you.
Exactly. I am always in the constant state of I'm very proud of myself and I need to go harder. I'm always in between. I'll celebrate my little victories and like, no, now you have to go harder, because it's not just for me. Right.
Okay, well, cool. Okay, so it's now time for a segment that we call One Word, First Thought. Okay? Woo. So just for fun, and I'm going to give you a word or a statement, and you just have to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. Don't think too hard. Just let the first thought flow freely.
Oh, God.
You ready?
I am nervous. Okay.
Okay. Kentucky.
Shoes.
Fashion.
Fast.
Love.
Fallen.
Chocolate.
Prizes.
Prize.
LaShondra.
Lemons.
Lemonade.
Kitten heels.
Ugly.
Flowers.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
See, I know, because I was going to, when you said kitten heel, I was going to say Erica, but I don't want to put her out there, because she does have kitten heel boots. But that's my friend, so.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
They're hideous.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. And I'm gonna have you on again. Yay. I want to do some type of fashion show. We got to figure that out, and let's put that together.
Are you gonna participate?
Yes.
Okay.
If you're gonna style me like this, girl, of course.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna go now. I guess I can go Kroger.
Please go to Kroger. Get you a cart. It looks like you floating. I'm telling you. I got proposed to in the frozen food section.
Oh, wow.
I don't know the man. They random.
I guess. Well, thank you all for tuning in to Miss Pat's Neighborhood. We'll see you next time, same station. And remember, it's always a great day to do good in your hood.